And this is something that I had never imagined in my life. It was very foreign indeed, because in the past my method was completely different, and thanks specifically to mentors for the coaching sessions, as well as the training classes and courses that followed, I was able to really have another different way of staying, sending interviews, online presence, plus the great help in tailoring made my CVs to each positions. And then thanks to Kobe, just after a few months, since I started in around July, August, already in October I got my first job offer, and now it's February 2026, almost March. Now I am in my current company. I really doing what I was looking for, with all the benefits I was looking for. It's really the ideal situation for me that I was so struggling in the past to achieve. If you are having issues, troubles, if you're really struggling in getting a job, no matter where you are, to really just drop what you're doing, contact the team of the Code Academy, and start this new path of your life, career with them, because honestly, something that everyone should do. If you're struggling, they are the solution.
I must say what I love about Ecobee is to have the support, as you mentioned, and especially the sincere approach, working with the team and knowing that there's always somebody there to help you and to guide you, go through the applications, and who are there to apply for the positions you're looking for. So it's an immense help. I think anyone who's looking for a job today, mid-level to really senior positions, somebody, he doesn't want to spend too much time, even though it takes time to prepare, but someone who can really guide you and follow you and apply directly for many positions, which will give you extra time to prepare for other positions. Thank you, AQB, for all the support.
When I decided that I would like to change my job, I got in contact with eCope based on a recommendation of my friends. They immediately helped me and got in contact and then gave me a lot of support, a lot of advice. Their help, we also sent out multiple, more than 50. Out of that, I would secure a couple of interviews, multiple reviews and requests for a first talk. A couple of interviews with companies, not just with agencies as well. And with their help, I was able to secure my current job. So I never regretted to get in contact with them. I'm very happy. I'm still happy to work with them, and I can just only recommend.
Olá, eu sou o Thiago, tenho 45 anos e moro no Rio de Janeiro. Antes de eu conhecer a Ecobee, eu estava muito frustrado com os processos de recrutamento e seleção. Não é normal pessoas qualificadas enviarem centenas de currículos e não receberem sequer um retorno. Eu entrei na Ecobee no dia 14 de agosto e menos de um mês depois, no dia 12 de setembro, fui contratado para uma posição de TI numa das maiores empresas de telecom da América Latina. A Ecobee apareceu na hora certa. Me ajudou com o planejamento de carreira, com as candidaturas e também com a preparação para as entrevistas, sempre com muita agilidade e presença. Sou muito grato ao apoio e à parceria. Procurar emprego não precisa e não deve ser um processo solitário. Obrigado, Ecobee.
Good evening, everybody. Can you hear me? Can you see me well? Great to have you here back for those that were here yesterday, and welcome for those that are new to the webinar, so that only are coming the second day. And I would like to ask if you are coming only on the second day, you could say new on the chat, please, so we can see how many people are new to the webinar, so we can focus a little bit. Okay, great. Hello from St. Gallen. Yeah, and you can say new and where you're coming from. That would be great. I'm speaking from Geneva. Again, sunny Geneva today. So still sunshiny here. So we are going to talk today about what candidates are missing, mostly based on our data in their job hunting. So a lot of new people, welcome, very good. Gabrielle, Canada, a lot of Sarah, Mon, Alfonso, great. So people from Cuomo, Basel, Zurigo, Bulgaria, great. Very international, very European, as we like. Also from Trinidad and Tobago, wow, amazing. So very international, also worldwide. So let's start then. I'm going to share my screen here, choosing first one. So let me now presentation mode. Right, hopefully you can see my screen. Welcome to day 2 then, how to get job interviews and offers. Specifically focus on what most candidates miss. So again, our happy faces here of previous clients that follow this methodology. So if you are applying and not getting interviews, you're missing one of these points. Positioning, so you have not defined your specialist angle or the target roles clearly enough, or it might be visibility. Your LinkedIn profile is not surfacing in the recruiter searches. So this is the point we'll need to correct. Or you're not doing the outreach. So applications without follow-up disappear into the silence. And one question from yesterday, and I promised to people that were here yesterday in the WhatsApp group. One person was asking the question, what's the difference between outreach and networking? So outreach basically is what you do after each application. You reach out to someone relevant for that application, whilst networking is a long-term investment. You are developing a relationship with people that are relevant for your target. But then coming back, what some people are missing is consistency. It's basically a system that runs constantly. So people sometimes are running their routine occasionally. So then they have occasional results. So today we'll do our best to help you fix those gaps. Quick recap on the 5 steps formula that we seen yesterday. So basically, it all starts with your positioning. You defining your two to three target roles, your specialist angle, your geography. Then second, having the right materials, your master CV, ATS ready. Remember the applications tracking systems that are filtering people out, plus your LinkedIn optimized for recruiter search. Then the third step, if you're searching and applying correctly, so you're customizing your CV per opening, plus you're applying to high fit roles only. Your time is pressure, your energy is pressure, so let's focus on what matters most. And then the fourth step, outreach and network. Outreach within 24 hours plus 25 to 30 connections per week across 5 key people. 5 tree groups that are relevant for you. And then the win part, the part that we all want to reach, which is your interview preparation offer negotiation framework, where you'll be calm, prepared, and ready for the interview. But remember, it will come. So basically here, if I then come to so tonight we'll see which of these most candidates miss, and we'll go deeper on this part. And some bonus for you, I'll show the job bot demo. So basically the job bot is a job search, job hunting assistant that we have created based on this methodology. And I'm going to share, as promised on the WhatsApp group with Karina, the ATS secrets. So the application tracks is how these systems are filtering people out. So the more you understand, the more you can go through it. it's an insight from HR to you, really. We rarely share that, but I think it's quite important for candidates to know. I think it's a fair thing to do. So what you build in 30 days with the job hunt reset self-driven program that we have developed based on this methodology. So here in the column on the left, so from day 0, you're welcome to the program and you have your setup. So how the system works, the course access to understand what you need to do and how. Your WhatsApp is activated and you join the community. Then on week 1, what you need to do when you're job hunting is to have a strong plan. Basically have a clear career strategy, strong LinkedIn, and a good master CV that you're going to use to customize for each role. Then you build your job hunting plan, your master CV, LinkedIn optimized, and you do your first 5 to 10 applications on this new method. Okay, that's what I would recommend to you on week 1. Then on week 2, you go deeply on the search and apply. You have this application routine, customizing your CVs, and then we ramp up to 10 to 20 applications customized per week. You do your first outreaches within 24 hours. And then on week 3, what we do with the people following this program is we focus on network and the outreach part. We build a system for that in a structured way. So you're going to start your 25 to 30 connections every week with 5 groups that are relevant to your target. And plus, you're going to do 1 in-person event scheduled. Because remember, we saw yesterday, networking in person is 3 times more powerful than networking through LinkedIn. And then finally, prepare for the win, for the interview, and for the offer negotiation. And we're going to show today here how to do that, which was planned for the day 2. So after day 30, you have a strong system that runs weekly until you sign. You keep running, keep improving until you sign. And again, confidence is the pillar, you will sign. Most clients sign between weeks 12 and 16 when they're applying this program with us. So basically 3.5 months versus 7 months, which is the Swiss average. So people stay in average unemployed in Switzerland for 7 months, people with university degrees. When running this program, the average we have so far is 3.5. So the strategy alone is not enough. You need to build or to enroll into a support system that makes you finish, that makes you apply frequently. Because we saw yesterday that on the history of job search, of hot job hunting, we analyzed since the 90s, where we didn't have the internet applications. We analyzed when LinkedIn came up, where the amount of time that was required to find a job has multiplied. And then the new era we are today, which is the AI-driven applications. People are spending 3 hours per day working on the job hunting. So it has never been so competitive. But on the other way around, there has never been so many tools for us to use. We just need to know how to use them properly and in a coordinated manner. So what we do, so we created a WhatsApp flow where every Monday morning you receive an action plan with the prompts, deliverable, and the deliverables that are expected by Friday. So the people who joined yesterday, they will start next week. And people who will be joining today will also start next week straight away. So it'll be very clear what will be the targets for the week. Then from Tuesday to Thursday, what you do, you have your job bot, so your job hunting assistant that will be delivering 5 to 10 roles that match your objective. Of course, as much as they are available. Some weeks there might be, some weeks not. But instead of you going manually searching, the automated tool, so the job bot will be searching for you. Of course, on top of that, don't forget, as I said, yesterday. Build the job alerts on the company's websites and LinkedIn, because it's quite important for you to receive as many positions as possible from different sources. And then Friday afternoon, you receive a nudge, remember, follow up to see if you have done all the targets for the week. Like this, you are not alone. So, and you have a system, a routine. And then you have access also to the tracker. So on the JobBot dashboard, where you have logged every action you need to do. I'm going to show a demonstration today how the JobBot works and the tracker as well. Then the other thing you have access on top of the course and the WhatsApp is the bi-weekly live Q&A with me. So if you have enjoyed yesterday, if you enjoy today, we will have one of those every 2 weeks, and then we go very specific on the questions that people ask during the week, on market analysis, on sectors, which companies are hiring in the geographies we mainly cover, and also some motivational testimonials from previous clients. So it is a quite good dynamic that we have on this, and it's very good to keep in touch with you during these Q&As. On top of that, you have the ecobee community, where our job market analysts from our team, they post weekly market intelligence, they post updates on what's going on in the market. They try to answer the questions also more in real time, so you don't need to wait for 2 weeks. You have visibility on what other people are doing. You can be sharing lessons learned with other people. So you don't need to be alone with your laptop at home. You are with a community. We are supporting each other. So why we decided not just to do a live or just to build a course? Because when we do that, we give content and then leave you alone. A support system keeps you moving every week. That's what makes the difference based on the data and the cases we've seen over these 20 years working in HR. So the job hunt reset, and this will give you also content on to see how you structure your weeks to be able, because you need to treat this as a project, as we said yesterday. So the course you get access to is structured in 3 phases, 5 steps, and 10 expert prompts. So I have developed prompts to be used with any AI tool that you're comfortable with, based on my 20 years of experience, based on what I learned from hiring 1,000 people. So we have reverse engineered to see, okay, how this knowledge can be used by the candidates to get hired. So basically it all starts with the phase 1, the plan. So basically you build your career and job plan using prompt 1, your master CV with prompt 3, and your LinkedIn profile with prompt 2, which gives you all the LinkedIn optimization guidelines. And in parallel, you are learning all the techniques, what is important, seeing examples on the course. It's a video course recorded by me. Then on phase 2, it's the execution. So you need to have a clear plan on how to search and how you're going to apply. So you can use prompt 4 for the CV customization, the job alert playbook, how you build the job alerts, and how you find hidden opportunities on LinkedIn as well. These are opportunities that are not necessarily posted, but people are talking about that, and then you can find this. Then you run a weekly job search. For people joining the program, you have this also with the prompt 5, and then your cover letter. So then on week 3, you were really focusing on the network and the outreach messages. So using prompt 7, also your outreach playbook, and we build your networking plan using prompt 10. And then the phase 3, the win, is when we start preparing you for the interviews with prompt 8. You get an interview preparation document and the interview playbook for you to start preparing. And we see what is the body language, how you should open, your presentation during an interview, which kind of questions should you answer, what are the 10 most common questions, how you should answer that, like talk about yourself. And then how do you prepare for the offer negotiation? We start this on week 4, because then when the interviews arrive, and it will arrive, you are prepared. So this is how we structure. You can also follow this logic in any place you are. I'm seeing people here from Rio as well. Very good. So let me show you how the job bot helps you and keeps your momentum daily. So when we kick off with you, for example, for the people who joined yesterday, next week, their profile will be created, and WhatsApp group will be created with job bot plus the person and plus one of our mentors that will be following in case there are any doubts. Okay. And if I may answer your question here, Chris, yes. So the services are you learn what you need to do and how you need to do to find a job nowadays, okay, which is general information. And then on our self-driven program is the one that you drive. You have the job bot to help you customize to tailor-made for you, okay? But at any point, we give you the ability to upgrade your program, and then you go to the partnership program. And then it is tailor-made not only by our job bot, but by a mentor, by a specific coach that will be taking care of your case. Okay? I hope I have answered. If not, I'll ask Andrea to put a link for the WhatsApp chat. And then if you have any specific question related to your specific case, privately, you can ask the team. They are there, and anything they will ask me as well. So, so basically, WhatsApp is created. You receive here, hello, I'm JobBot, your Ecobee job hunting assistant. I'm here to help you find job opportunities faster. You're not alone in this group. An Ecobee coach is also here. They follow your progress and step in whatever needed. So when the job bot cannot answer, a person steps in. So here is how we work together. 1, I'll send you new job openings that match your profile directly here every week. Then I'll send you course reminders to keep your job search on track. 3, you can ask me anything along the way. If I cannot answer, I'll bring in your coach. And 4, you can track your applications and adjust your job hunting plan anytime on your Ecobee dashboard, which is your tracking system that I'll show in a minute. So here's an example. So basically, the job bot sends frequently, daily or weekly, whenever it's available, the positions here. You click, you go straight to the position to then make your application after you customize your CV. And you always go to the dashboard where you can say if you have applied, if you have declined, because JobBot is always learning from your feedback. The more you give feedback, the best it becomes. So basically, you log in and then you have access to your space. That's your job hunting area. Okay, then you upload your CV. The more information you give, the more the job bot knows your objectives and it can give you better positions. So it helps you build your job hunting strategy. So a career plan, career objective, secure a brand manager or marketing coordinator role where proven experience in content strategy, digital execution, cross-functional coordinator translates into directly measurable results, target position statements, market profession. So it builds the whole thing. I'm going to show this after how it looks like. There's a place for you to build your master CV and for you to track your job search. So this is for the self-driven participants, okay? So, but the people who do upgrade to partnership, they also have here the space where the mentors team and the back office basically help them to customize each CV, help them to build outreach messages to be sent, help them to make the applications. Everything goes through this space, it's your space, your dashboard, and through WhatsApp. Okay? So these are the two programs we have. I'm going to give more information. So this is running in English. Kajsa from Stockholm. I've been in Stockholm twice. I love the place. Yeah, so for the moment, we don't have in Swedish, but in English, and our development team, if they're listening to me, so the idea is here. Okay, so this is how the job bot actually helps you find positions. Okay, so it sends you the position on WhatsApp. You check. You come here to a dashboard. You say, well, here is for me, Chief Human Resources Officer. Okay, I like, accept. Vice President Human Resource. Okay, not bad. Accept. And then it gives you if it's a medium match, if it's a high match, and then you can accept, decline, or check the description. When you accept, all this goes to your dashboard. You know how many applications did on the week, so it's easier to report to the job bot. And if you are on the self-driven program, or if you are on the partnership, to the mentor, and it treats like every week you feel good when you see your progress. You know, you have objectives per week, so you're not focusing only on the offer. When you meet your objectives of every week, it builds up your confidence. It builds up that sensation that you are advancing, you're getting closer. Oh, sorry. The very good question, Kajsa. So the job bot will search in any language, okay? Because it uses AI technology. So however it's posted on LinkedIn, on Indeed, or in the company website, it will find. I was just referring to the interactions you have with the job bot on the WhatsApp and the interface of the dashboard. But in terms of job search, definitely it finds positions in any language. Right. So just remembering from yesterday and giving you a feedback as requested. So tonight is day 2. Many of you asked our team yesterday to hold the day 1 launch price. So our market team has kindly agreed to this. So we're keeping for tonight only the 50% discount for this group that has been following us and kind of helping us on building content, giving feedback. So this price will close at midnight. We're keeping the price from yesterday. So instead of the full price here of 2,700, you're only paying half price, 1,350, or you can divide with Klarna if needed, or in euro equivalent for our colleagues from Europe, 1,559, or you can also divide in 3 times. So if you want tonight's price, the enrollment link was just sent by our team there. Today we have 20 spots only. Okay, yesterday we had 50. So we close at midnight. With the first team will get the priority. Lock your spot now. You can listen while you still are thinking, or you are already kind of enrolling. If you have any specific question, you can speak to our team on WhatsApp. But if you want to secure your spot already, the Hotmart link is already there by our team. So let's move forward. Now, giving the answer of what most candidates are missing. So based on all the data we have collected over these 20 years in HR, most candidates miss on the positioning. Okay, so basically on defining what are the target roles, they are focusing on too many roles. They are not showing what are their specialist angle. They're not focused on a specific geography. They're also missing on the outreach and networking. A lot of people not doing outreaching yet. Okay, so this is quite important for you to include in your routine. And the other thing is networking. A lot of people don't have time to network because they are only focusing on the applications. And finally, I've seen a lot of people who get the interviews. We had a case of 9 people with 9 interviews, but they were not preparing enough. So it's quite important to prepare. So another thing people miss is to prepare too late on the process. So it's important to prepare in advance. That's why we start that in week 4 for those who join the program. So let's go through this in more details, giving additional information compared to what we discussed yesterday. Positioning. So I mentioned to you what we built with the job bot. It goes, people in the partnership program, we go into this level of detail. Target roles, okay, which are the categories, and the example of titles, okay, for the person to choose, and then focus on the 2 or 3 that we mentioned. Then, this is something you can do. What are the core strengths that you have? Okay, so what are the type of roles, and what is the value proposition that you have to add? Because this will be important, because this will drive how you're going to customize your CV. So the system helps you doing that, or the mentor and the system when you're in the partnership program. So self-driven, you also have access to that. So the job bot will help in that. And then the next steps. So it does help you to plan what are the sectors that you want to focus on, and what are the examples of titles that these sectors offer. Okay, so then what you also get is we're constantly studying the sectors and the companies. If I take the example here from Geneva, in the industry and corporate sector, these are the companies that can be in your target. Why you target these companies? What are the networking contacts that you need to focus? What's the status? And what is the argument that we're going to focus on this? Okay. So basically, we have a long list of companies that we get in the database. Then the more people we place, the more people we get in connections. And when you go through this program, you join this community, and then people are very keen to help also the new people that are joining, okay? Because we all can be exposed to layoffs, to unemployment, etc. So it's quite important that we keep helping each other. So then outreach, number 4, consistency beats creativity. So most candidates send one message and give up. So what you need to, when you do an outreach, what you need to do. So you made an application, you send a message to someone that is relevant for that role. Short, relevant, specific. I have applied for this role. So you recognize something specific that this person did that took your attention. You share some relevance. I also have experience in this kind of project, and I was wondering how you did, how did you manage to achieve this? So what you need to know is that most of the messages you send via LinkedIn are not answered. But then the follow-up message has a much higher probability of being answered. You would be surprised with the amount of CEOs, COOs, CFOs, senior managers that actually reply to that, and then they come to us in HR, oh, can you schedule a meeting with this person here? So you can send 5 to 7 days after, you can reference your first message, add one piece of relevant information, keep it short for then the message 1. So people that are in the partnership program, they receive suggestions, these messages, when they are applying. So most candidates give up after one message. Don't do that. Always do the follow-up. It's quite interesting, this from HR to you, the core psychological principles. Why we answer some questions, some messages, why we don't answer others. Basically, when you do some recognition with people, you show real attention to something specific the person said, wrote, or built. And LinkedIn today gives, what LinkedIn gives is gold. Okay, so basically, you have posts, you know exactly what they do, and then you can recognize that. You can create a link. Expert positioning. Ask questions that that position the other person as knowledgeable and experienced. And then low friction ask. You don't ask for calls or meetings. These people are very busy usually. So in the first contact, make replying easy. So I would like to have your view on this position. I would like to ask, what do you think are the most important points for this position? And then you give some contextual reference to a real project, post interview they did. You try to work on their curiosity. So focus on learning and discussion before talking about yourself. Ask questions to them. People love to talk about themselves. Okay. Then short and easy to read. 1, 2, or 3 lines. Human over template. Make it feel personal. You can use AI, but make it personal. Okay. So in our course, you learn how to do that. You take the profile of the person you want to reach, and then you learn what's the right prompt to consider all the psychological strategies to build the perfect message for that specific person. Right. In terms of networking, so what we teach in our course and what our mentors help you to do is a networking, not only on LinkedIn, and not to ask for jobs. It's about being known before the open roles actually open. So basically, it's the EcoB acronym. Enter, identify the right people in your target companies and connect with the reason. C, connect, build a relationship before you need anything. Comment, share insights, add value. Offer, share something useful, an article, a perspective, a referral. Give before you ask. This is the golden rule on network. You give before you ask. Then you build, you follow up regularly, stay visible, relationship require consistent, low pressure contact, and then you expand. If the person cannot help you, they certainly know someone that potentially can help you. And you go until you find someone. That's what we keep every week reminding you. That's what we keep you, we help you develop each time further. So it's a long game. It's a game of patience, but a very strategic game. Yes, there are a lot of people commenting here for senior roles. This is more important than applications. Okay, half of the roles from HR to you again, half of the roles are filled by referrals, by networking. Right. So the win. So what we do is we give you the knowledge, the prompt to build the interview preparation document. Okay. Where we focus on the strategic anchors to prepare you for the interview. Our memory sometimes is limited when we are nervous. So we train you to focus on the 3 keywords to go. Then we define the role intelligence. So basically, what are the key points of the job description, what it means based on your experience, and how you should use your experience to answer that. Then the second section is, what is the company context that you should use to go to the interview? Then people say, wow, they really prepared. They know a lot about companies. And this is prepared in seconds, okay? By our mentors or by you using the prompt we're going to give you. There are several sections. It's a 2 pages document, sometimes 3. So Elenida, how many job applications do you recommend to do per week? Not less than 5. 10 is a good number. Some people do 30, but it depends on the time, the energy, and the available positions you have. Okay, so that's why we created this kind of service, because today the volume required is so high that sometimes you need to share the work if you have more pressure on time. So that's why basically why I started doing that for the people that were not here yesterday, because I have, like, in a monthly basis, a lot of people asking advice, asking tips. I don't have enough time to give it to everybody, so I had to create the academy, create the methodology, create the course. But then the course is not enough. Create a system and train the mentors so we have more people being able to help you. Of course, there is a cost for that. That's why there is a price. I appreciate it's difficult, but it is in this time. But of course, it is an investment for you to reduce the time. And historically, based on our data, the people that are applying the method, they're managing to find a job in half the time that people average takes here in Switzerland. So basically, the payback is quite fast compared to that. But of course, for the people who can. Then the other part of the win is the offer. Let me share you a real case that I promised on the WhatsApp group. We had a client that started a date with us on the 22nd of January 2026. She had the first offer on the 27th of April 2026 when I was in the lake, and I received a call from a mentor. I was very, very happy for her. The whole team is very happy when people get the offers, but also suffer with people when it's all this difficult time. So she had full parallel interview process with top tier employers. Okay, so basically it was Lombard Odier, and Julius Baer and two other important investment banks. So the candidate has received simultaneous offer pressure while still in advanced interview stages with the preferred employers. So the results achieved were multiple concurrent offers in the Swiss financial market, a salary progression of 40%, and the final placement with a top bank among these that I mentioned to you, and a successful transition into a highly competitive Swiss private banking environment. So it's like you get into the Champions League. So she moved from a sector that was in a downside trend to a sector that is constantly growing. So the investment she made was very small compared to the return she had. So this 40% progression will be an incredible upside in her financial life or her family from the long term. So what we did and what you should do on when you start getting the offers, prioritize, manage well your negotiation, risk mitigation. You need to be careful not to be too picky. Communication strategy with the recruiters and HR constantly. See, well, so do you have an idea when you'll be able to share the offer? Contract management before signature. You need to really read the contract, understand the total compensation, have a view of the 3 years for more senior roles. What is vested benefit? What is the bonus? So what's your total compensation? Don't get lost only on the annual salary. What are the benefits? What are the pension schemes? So all this, so you get access to this inside HR kind of intelligence to analyze the offers. And then what's the salary positioning and decision making? So we help you with the prompt to get, there are sites like Glassdoor that gives you very, very good information on how much the sector pays. And when we have these messages of people announcing their offers, announcing their interviews, we're very, very happy. And that's the main reason why we do this work, because we don't need to do this work. I mean, my main activities in the corporate world, but I've seen so many people, so many good people being left behind that I really saw that it was very important to have this kind of knowledge, this kind of support. Of course, if you get only the knowledge, great, I'll be very happy for you. If you need support in a program, great, we'll follow together. But in any case, I'm very glad to be able to share, and I really hope this will be adding value to your job hunting. So the key guidance: secure a safe option first when you have an offer. Gain time professionally without damaging the relationships. You need to keep the doors open. Avoid premature commitment before signing a contract if you're on the final stages of interview. Try to gain 24 hours, 48 hours, maybe even 1 week. Prioritize the long-term fit and employer quality over the urgency. Now let's talk about another thing that candidates are missing more and more nowadays: AI tools. Some people are not using. Yesterday we did a poll here. Most of the people were using. Let's remember 7 out of 10 candidates are already using AI. But don't feel guilty because us in HR, 90% of us are using AI as well to filter, to prepare job descriptions. So it is normal. It is the new normal. Just answering a question here from Lucy. We have a lot of experience on the Dutch market. Okay, we placed Bruna, one of the testimonials that for Samsung, for example. One of the testimonials we had at the beginning was Dora, that is also head of finance in the Dutch market. I have opened a company there, Petrobras Global Trading, back in 2012 or so. So we hired from scratch a lot of people that don't speak Dutch, a lot of people from Portugal, for example, from Greece, very international. So we know quite well the Dutch market. Rotterdam. This was in Rotterdam, but we also know Amsterdam, etc. So yeah, feel free to drop your questions here on the chat. If you have private questions about you specifically, don't hesitate to send to WhatsApp. Andrea, if you can drop the link of the WhatsApp as well, I would appreciate here, because we care a lot about your privacy, okay? Everything that is personal, just share with our team. They're prepared to answer that according to the GDPR, etc. But everything that's general about the market, about the sector, feel free to share here. I'm looking real time, and our team is always kind of sharing here with us as well. So, but let's go back to the AI tools, very important. The tools are here, but the problem is how people use them. ChatGPT, Claude, JobScan that are using AI as well. The market offers a lot of tools. The problem, people use them randomly without a strategy. This strategy is very important. Each tool is used in isolation from the others. The output looks the same as every other candidate. I'll talk about that. Now, all the CVs are looking great. So you need to really put your touch there. No systems to integrate AI into the weekly workflow. What's the difference with our program? AI is one coordinated tool inside the system. Instead of using general Claude, the general ChatGPT, we use the same technology, but we are training every day. We are a little bit replicating everything that I've learned over these 20 years working in 4 top market companies here in Switzerland, in London, and in Rio. I started my career in Rio. So our developers, our AI scientists, they feed in constantly, daily, for this tool to be as good as possible. By the way, yesterday was a question, because we were looking at this in the morning today. Someone asked, what's the difference between our job bot and Claude or ChatGPT? They run with the same technology, but our job bot is trained for job hunting specifically. Our job bot is being improved every day by us based on real data, lessons learned from all the candidates. Our job bot gives you a follow-up system, reminds you what stuff you need to do, gives you progress. It helps you track. Whilst some people could be very good programming on Claude, but the people that are not from the area, it's quite important to have a system that is ready, so you don't waste time trying to figure out your own system. So also the output is reviewed and adapted by a mentor for people following the upgraded program, the partnership. And also these people have coaching that are always checking what the AI tool is doing. But if you're on the self-driven, the job bot works each time better, okay? And you learn how to identify, how to improve, how to use that. So German language for finding positions in Switzerland are not necessarily a requirement, okay? I found my job here without speaking German. I mean, I hired several people without speaking German. Technical managers, if you are in the German spoken area. So for some positions, if you're dealing with people that don't speak English, it might be required, but if it's an international team, no. Question of Fatima. Right. So AI produced the content. Ecobee Academy system produced results. So then we have here how the ATS systems work. Something I promised was a surprise. I asked Karina to post there in the famous application tracking systems. This I've never seen that shared in the internet before. So from HR to you. And how do these systems spot AI written CVs? As a colleague wrote to me on LinkedIn or on Instagram. By the way, feel free to follow on Instagram because we're constantly sharing, and on LinkedIn, constantly sharing content. How do the system spot AI written CVs? But before we go to that, so the AI ATS pipeline, what happens between you clicking submit on your application and the recruiter seeing your CV? Basically, you upload a PDF or doc. So, and then you go to the fields. In Workday, Greenhouse, ICIMS, Smart Recruiters, we use a lot of them. I have a lot of experience with Workday, for example. Second, the system starts parsing. Text is extracted from the file sections detected. Remember, tables, columns, images, photos often break the parsing. So simple CVs, use words, avoid canvas, in my opinion. Although a lot of people have different opinions, but knowing the systems, that's what I suggest. 3, keyword scoring. Match against the job spec, each CV gets a score. The exact and semantic match, the title, the years, etc. Then the system does a ranking. Top candidates surfaced, bottom CVs hidden. Recruiters often see only 20 to 50 by default. And then the recruiters, so we will only see, so my teams in recruitment will only review the shortlisted and decide who they're going to call back. And then they will send to me 2 or 3, and then I'll send 1 or 2 to the hiring manager. So 6 to 8 seconds in average per CV a human actually dedicates, unfortunately. Then now let's talk about how the AI detects, how these systems are detecting if a CV is purely done by AI. There are language patterns with AI, generic verbs everywhere, leverage, orchestrated, drove, in the intersection of. There is a smooth grammar, no human friction occurs. There is the content thinness, vague achievements, round numbers metrics, boosted say by 30%. And it's all rounded, but no specific tools, names, projects, no history, no soul, no context. Structural tells, perfect symmetry across roles, same sentence rhythm, identical bullet structure. It's too perfect to be human. Yeah. So different HR colleagues are dealing with this in different manners. Okay. I don't judge. I think not using AI is a disadvantage. But when a CV is detected by the system as pure AI, there is a concern on our minds, in our minds, that says, did this person actually check what the AI did? Did they actually research about the company? Did they tailor that? So there are a lot of tools that are used today to check if something was done by AI. Here you see the direct detection tools. And some ATS are now embedded with this. Here how it looks like for us in the system. So the recruiter view is like this. Senior market manager, EU market, 800 applicants, top 50 are shown below. Boom, boom, boom. The title, the experience, and here's the match. 94% match. Okay, I want to see the CV. I click. Below here, the CVs, the below 70%. How this 94% is built of matching. The keyword, so required versus preferred. So the keyword from job description, that's the key. And in our system, that's what we focus. Our prompt will really focus on tailoring your experience, focusing your experience as much as possible to match the keywords in the job description. And our mentors are trained to do that as well for the people with the upgraded plan. And then the placement weight, where the keywords appear, and then the parser accuracy, where can the ATS read the file, and then the filters. So the score is done by that. So a beautiful CV that breaks the pass, so basically that cannot be read by the ATS, will score 0. A keyword strong CV that really fits the profile of the job description, that's what scores. Why people still fail? It's rarely about talent or experience. When I look to your CVs, when I look to your LinkedIn's, you have a lot of experience, a lot of value. You should never doubt that. But a lot of people, they are missing sometimes these three things. They don't have time to do this project management job hunt. I know it's a lot of work, but that's the market today. Senior professionals that are still employed or busy managing their families, their commitments. So the search competes with everything else. So that's why some people decide to go to a program like this. And that's why even more, some people decide to upgrade, to share the administrative burden with the back office, to have the mentors helping on the strategy. So to double down, to double on the volume they can do. Some people have no structure. They know what they need to do in theory. They watch a lot of videos on Instagram, on YouTube. They know they have all the content, they have all the knowledge. But knowing and doing are different things. Without a weekly system and a plan, it's very hard. And some people have no consistency. They did 2 weeks applying a lot, doing a lot of things, following the whole 5-step sequence, but then 2 weeks doing nothing. They lose momentum. So that's why we have the WhatsApp daily follow-up in our program. So, and the bi-weekly Q&A. Then we are reminding you of everything that you need to do, and we keep you on track. We keep you committed. So basically, the program includes the course, the Q&A bot, everything you need to learn. It includes the system for you to stay on track, the WhatsApp daily, the bi-weekly Q&A with myself for now, and the access to the community. And something that was only from the part for this partnership, for the people in the webinar, we're giving as a bonus, career strategy positioning job applications plan built with the job bot. And we're opening for you the job bot sending opening roles via WhatsApp. Okay? So the price tonight, as I said, is a 50% discount compared to our website price. So price tonight, 1,350 or 3 times 450. And in euros, 1,559 or 3 times of 519. For people that join and at any point they want to upgrade, they get the support on the applications as well. So they have a kickoff call with our human mentor. They have the WhatsApp support at any time. They help the optimization of the LinkedIn, the master CV. They help optimizing each CV for each opening, the cover letter, and they help doing the applications. So if you don't have time, if you need help going through that, the upgrading would be for you as well. You can speak to anybody in our team on the chat there if you want to upgrade, or you can send an email here. But the first step is to enroll into the job hunt results self-driven. The link is here in the chat. Okay, secure positions because it's going fast. The market team is telling me here. So why this partnership upgrade exists? Because people know what to do. The question is whether they have time, energy, and the support to do it consistently. So the self-driven gives you the plan and the system. For some people, this is more than enough. So you have the course, the system, the community to teach you what and how to do it. The execution is on you. You manage your own CV adaptation per role, but you know how to do it. You learned on the course. You know the prompts. You write and send your outreach independently based on our course, based on the prompt, and based on the reminder on the WhatsApp. And you track your own consistency using the JobBot tracking system that you have access. Then, what the partnership upgrade adds, the human support, the done with you approach, the strategy we built together since day one on the kickoff meeting, The mentor's back office team handles your CV customizations and applications per role. You approve, they apply. The outreach messages are prepared by your mentor or by the job bot because we have this functionality. The networking system, the plan, which companies you're targeting, who are the people you need to connect. This is all built with you. And the weekly follow-up, like you have in the self-driven, it's also running here. So the partnership is for candidates who want to move faster with less effort. So what do you get? The strategy and execution, the application support for each position, each customization, each application, and the outreach and networking. So results to date, clients from our programs, they sign offers in 3.5 to 4 months in average versus the Swiss benchmark of 6 to 8. 7 months people with university degrees take in Switzerland. So you have access to the system for 3 months, but if you don't find a position in 3 months, we extend for more 3 months with no cost. It's on us. So who our programs are for? Okay, this is for if you have been searching for some time without traction. Of course, if you have the availability to do it, okay? If you want a structured system, not generic advice. You are serious about moving faster with less wasted effort. If you're open to being coached and held accountable. This is not for you if you are passively exploring and not committed to the process. If you're looking for shortcut, guarantee outcome, or any magic, please don't believe in people, coaches that promise you magic solutions. You are not prepared to put in consistent weekly effort because it does require effort. So if you recognize yourself in the left column here, this is for you. So you can engage and basically, love your question, Lucy. After being an expert in the program, can I get a job at Ecobee? To be honest, it happened several times. So we have people that today are our coaches. They perform it so well that they were invited to become coaches, and people love to do that. So that's how we get people from different sectors as well. And we become really a community. So it's interesting that you asked that. I know it's a delicate point because it's a difficult situation where people are, okay? But it's even more difficult when it takes more time, okay? When you are at home, I mean, your family, there's pressure. So the cost of a long search for someone with a salary of 100,000, it's 300 a day. If you find a job 10 days faster with a program like this, you already put back in your pocket 3,000. If it's 30 days faster, it's 9,000. If it's 60 days faster, it's 18,000. If you remember, the average in Switzerland is 7 months. People in average running this program, they get their offers in 3.5 months. So what is the value of 3.5 months for someone with a salary of 100,000? So it's much more than this investment. I would have loved to be able to do this without a cost. But the problem is to run that with quality, there is a cost. All the systems, there is a cost. All the people that are working on that, there is a cost. So I understand that for some people, this is not possible. But for the people that are possible, they have some savings. They can, for the people that can allocate part of their employment insurance into this, it is a choice. It is a personal choice that needs to be done. What we try to do here is to give you enough data to be able to make a conscious decision. But it's personal, it's specific. If you want to discuss your personal questions, feel free to speak to our team in the chat. The link is there in the. But if you can, don't waste time. I mean, what most of the people that join the program say, I should have joined before. Sometimes I was thinking too much. I was wasting time that I could have started, and I could have reached my offer much earlier. So choose your speed. Both paths use the same system. The difference is how much support you have behind you. Okay, so on the self-driven, you build your own system, the partnership, you move faster with support. apply now if you can. The offer closed tonight. We only have now even less than 20. But for tonight only 50% discount. 1,350 you can pay in 3 times, or the euro equivalent 1,559. If you have any questions, now is the time. Q&A. For general questions, feel free to drop here in the chat. If you have personal questions, you can go to the WhatsApp with our team, but feel free. I'm all yours here for answering any questions. Meanwhile, if you made a decision, guarantee your radio spot directly on the link. So I'm here to answer the question. So on questions regarding price, so David, I would ask you please to contact our team via the chat on WhatsApp. And also for private questions, when you want to speak about personal points, please speak on the private with the chat with the team, because we want to preserve your privacy. Does your academy always end up with closing find a job for each candidate? So we cannot guarantee that this will work for everybody, but so far it has worked for everybody. Okay, the average is 3.5 months. Some people find a job in 1 month or less. Some people take 5 months, but the average is this. We have the commitment. If you don't find in 3 months, we give you access for more 3 months. But to be honest, we get attached, we get committed to your objective, and it's very rarely that we drop a project, we drop a challenge. We really go into putting a little bit of light here. Maybe it's too much, or okay, it's stabilized. Yeah, so far everybody has got the jobs. A lot of people ongoing as well that have started more recently. But yeah, so these are the data we have to share. Why Germany is becoming more and more a qualification for open roles. If you're mentioning in Switzerland, yeah, because the German part of Switzerland is responsible for a big chunk of the position here. And sometimes they do require to facilitate the companies that are not very international, that are pretty much with the Swiss personnel, they tend to require more. Yeah, thank you very much, Galleria Helvetia. Amazing job system. No, appreciate. I mean, we really built that based on all these years of experience, and it's really made to help you. Mari Belneira is asking the chat for chatting privately. I think Andreas put there. Thank you very much. Which months are low for applying? That's a very good question. You would say during the summer, you are absolutely right. Also, near Christmas is not great. Very good months are beginning of the year, because that's where people are starting their new budgets, the new MPPs, manpower planning, execution. But let me tell you something. Europeans market is rebounding, okay? The manufacturing sectors are starting to hire again. Sectors like energy, commodities, chemicals are really booming now. This is because it's a sad reason because of the war in the Middle East. So Europe has really reduced the imports. So basically it's benefiting the local market, the local production. So now it's a very good time to look for a job, because a lot of companies are taking over their processes, their phases of hiring freeze, stopping hiring freeze. They're hiring again. A lot of companies are needing to increase production and then increase the hirings. So any other questions there? Oh, do recruiters really check the keyword percentage and select only the most matching CVs, or they use the ATS mainly to pass the CV? Aquino, yeah, so it's mainly done by the system. Then the system does the short list, and us, the recruiters, will do a more qualitative analysis. So basically checking the first part of your CV, the relevance. So a lot of recruiters tend to look into your most recent experience, the companies you have worked for, your positions, and then they get into the details of your experience. If you have a target role in mind, but your skill set applies to other industries' job titles, will the chatbot pick this up and deliver to you? If yes, do you have to upload them? Yeah, so basically the way it works is, Indira, you upload your CV, you give your LinkedIn profile, but you give your objectives. So basically the job bot will try to match your experience with the objectives and create the storytelling, which will be your positioning. So basically we try to build up a plan, a narrative that will justify how your skills and experience can be transferable to this objective. Sometimes it takes time. Sometimes we need to suggest to you to do an individual development plan. And we have someone in our team that is specialist in this. She did with me 8,000 development plans in the past, working for a very large energy company in Latin America. So yeah, sometimes you need to do some courses, um, uh, basically read and write some articles to build your knowledge, to build your image in that sector. Uh, yeah, so yeah, exactly. Yeah, what can I share the standard CV? Yeah, yesterday we have shared a standard CV template for you to be able to inspire yourself. If you're just following the webinar, for the people who join the program, you have access to our template, and then our system will produce already your CV based on our template for the people that are on the partnership. But if you are in the self-driven, we'll help you with our prompt and with our course to build your CV exactly based on our template, what we see working. So another question now for Ellen, from Ellen. What industries are recruiting in 2026, taking into account difficult times in commodity market? To be honest, the commodities markets are making a lot of money in the last months, okay, because for the reason I just mentioned. So it is becoming again a very strong market to focus on. Also, pharma is constantly hiring a lot. MedTech is also hiring a lot. So what else? Well, to be honest, Annie Angel, the best CV I would say is a hybrid between AI and human written. I would say nowadays we should not underestimate how AI can make us gain time and also focus on a job description to tailor. So it's a hybrid. And by the way, the future of work is a hybrid. It's us working alongside HR. I have a question here. Are your services also offered to Dubai-based clients? Absolutely. I've been in the Middle East a few times for the World Cup, but also for the football clubs World Cup, but also for work. And we did have clients already from the Middle East, and it does work for them, Marcus. Is application spontanée works in Swiss Romand? The application spontanée can work. Okay, I've hired already people that I receive for spontaneous applications, basically. So you just need to, when you send the email, you need to show how your profile will add value to the company. Okay, and we train you to do that as well. If it's a general email, I'm just sending my spontaneous application here. But if you tell a story, I mean, if you help me understand why it could be interesting. For example, for the chemical sector, I'm seeing your production is increasing a lot in France. And I've seen that you've been hiring a lot for production, for the production department. I have worked in a similar situation of ramp up production and have achieved this kind of results. I would love to discuss with you how I could help on that specifically challenge. So this is a good application spontanée, Ellen. So all our data is used for training. Is this compliant? So basically, if you agree to have data used for training, yes. If not, no. So you can have a closed system. But basically, for example, what I mean by this is also like when you start your program, and when you run this, for example, for 3 months, you find your offer, you are feeding into our system our data for us to say, okay, this is contributing to our average. Okay, so it's also in terms of performance, so we can understand how the market is today. But absolutely, we have on the terms and conditions a specific chapter on GDPR, and it's something that is very important for us, Tiberius. German language, yeah, this we answered already. So from Zara here, could you please explain if your mentor helps with tailoring CVs and cover letters? So we have 2 programs, Zara. So basically, the first program is the self-driven. Is the one your so entry door into Ecobee. Okay, you enroll, you get in. So this one, you have the course, you learn how to do things. So we don't give you the fish. We give you the ability for you to be able to fish your own fishes in the field. So you learn, you have access to our prompts, you start doing yourself your CVs. But if you upgrade, and you can upgrade from day one, then you have access to our mentor. Is the person that is a single point of contact, the person that will share your objective with you and work with you on your objective. So they will work with our back office to tailor your CV for each application and cover letter. So they will do it. They will send for you to apply, to approve. When you approve, they apply on your behalf if you give them the ability to do so. Of course, what is on LinkedIn, an easy apply, you do it. They prepare the CV, they send to you, you apply. Because we never mix on your own login data, etc. You on the easy apply you do, but when it's the company website, it's just an administrative process. You validate the CV, the team goes there with your authorization, makes the application, it goes to your own email. Okay, I hope it has answered. If you have any more specific question on your case, feel free to speak to our mentors, by the way, that are on WhatsApp. Or if it's good for you, looking forward to start with you next week, Zara, with the team when they're doing the kickoff. Could you please share job placement results from your academy? Yeah. Yeah, so basically we have people placed in Samsung, people placed in DuPont here in Geneva, people placed in Richemont, other companies in the luxury sector, people placed in Petrobras in the Netherlands. I can go on and on. And as I said, people take in average 3.5 months to be placed. So do you think that going direct to employers with applications still working in this environment? I think the system is broken. Yeah, I mean the recruitment system in general is broken, and I'm not concentrating on direct application anymore. Look, as I said yesterday, the applications are a very important source of intelligence, of which companies are hiring, which sectors are hiring. So it's quite important to keep applying. Okay. And because it's a source for you to outreach, to speak to people, and to network. But also, don't underestimate, applications still work. I know it's very frustrating because now you need to apply 100 times to get a couple of interviews. Okay, but it does work. We have the DuPont case I just mentioned. It was via application, for example. The other case I mentioned about so the on the luxury sector was also application, followed by a very good outreach. What else? What are the peak times for job search in Switzerland? Yeah, summer is the low time. So yeah, this usually, I mean, in terms of the number of applications, people definitely need to try to reach 100 applications. Okay, so what we've seen so far, the people that get 100 applications, applying this methodology, they normally get at least one interview based on the data so far again. ESG, we do have one mentor specifically focused on ESG. Yeah, thanks, Patricia. Could you please share? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so there is a refund policy. Okay, we comply with the European policy on refunds. Okay. So absolutely, we want to keep working with people that are satisfied. What else? Yeah, so that's a very good point, Miguel. So how do you do networking if you have professionals who may be competing among themselves in the same position? You're talking about the community, I guess, right? So we try to have some rules for the community where we try to have segments. Okay, so people actually we try to consolidate by geography rather than roles. So we try to avoid people competing in the same kind of marketing, sharing lessons learned and positions, etc. So basically try to group by geography. For some forums where we have more general information, it's fine because we're not sharing kind of any inside information from one or for the other. But it's a good question. What do you advise in terms of salary expectation during interviews? It always comes, and some say we shouldn't give a specific number. What's your expected? Yeah, usually people give a range. Okay. It is quite interesting because I had a boss in the past that if people go too low, they think they're not senior enough. So you need to find a range that really makes sense. Even if you really need that job, you are in a difficult situation, you should not lower too much because it will underqualified, it can play against you. So you need to find a range. We do have a chapter on our course that talks about that, how to research and position yourself in terms of salary expectation. I like to, when people give a range and say, but I'm very flexible. My goal is really to join the company and I'm more focused on the long term. I'm sometimes happy to make a step back to be able to make 2 steps forward after. So this kind of additions, when you give your range, are very good. If you add your flexible, you have a way forward. New questions here. Okay, thank you very much, Anna Leone, for the feedback. Thank you. So let me see here. Where did I stop? Oh, we had a lot of new ones. Okay. Yeah, so how to find my mentor, how to access my job board. Yeah, so basically, Uplift, we will be contacting you, okay, in the next days to welcome you to the course. We are going to allocate one mentor for you and we'll do the onboarding, okay? It's just that the whole team now is focused on the day 1 and day 2 of the webinar. As from tomorrow, you'll be receiving, for the people who bought that yesterday and today, as from tomorrow, you start receiving the contact and the welcome for you to get to know the mentor, the access to the job board, to start kind of preparing the system. And we'll do a collective kickoff from Tuesday next week. Okay, you start getting some information already this week, but we'll do a collective kickoff from Tuesday next week. Okay, you'll be receiving some information already this week, Uplift. Thanks for the question, and it's useful for everybody else. So competition in Switzerland is very high. So how can someone be the special one for one open role? Any specific advice that you come to mind? Yeah. So Dimitris, it's all about having a clear objective and seeing how you add value for these target companies. Okay. This is a fundamental part of our program we're going to start next week with the people who bought already. It's really to understand your objective and to really see how your experience, your profile can add value to that. And we all have some value to give. And as I mentioned during the 2 days of interview, specialists today are more valued than generalists. So niches, you have more chances of getting the job if you focus on a niche than if you are very wide. For example, focus on the financial sector, finance roles, it's too broad. Focusing on finance transformation is specific. Finance transformation for food and beverage companies, that is specific. That is a niche. So in this specialty, Gerd, the Swiss job market, neighboring countries. Oh, yeah, absolutely. We have a lot of clients from neighboring countries, France, Italy, Germany. So it is, we use Switzerland as an example because it's a market that is very stable. It's good to kind of get statistics, but it's definitely open for the whole Europe. And the system partnership serves equally effective in the Nordics, especially in the Swedish job market. So the system has good track record in different countries. Okay, so you can come in and we have people. The moment we get clients from a specific country, even if we didn't work in this specific country before, we really get our job analysts to get inside to know more and more, and the system do work very well to search for jobs in any specific country. So it does work. We have several examples. So we have Denmark, we have the Netherlands, so Italy, France, Germany, and goes on and on. So yeah, so Uplift, if you can get in contact with one of our mentors via the chat. Andrea, can you put the link for the chat, please, over there? So for Uplift and for everybody that has bought already, they can start a conversation in the chat, because then they don't need to wait for our mentors to be out of this marathon of the webinar, because we have the whole team doing their best to prepare as much information as possible for you guys. That's why there's a little bit of a delay to get in contact with you the new participants, because we're all focused to give you the best on this webinar here. So the life science market opportunities, it's something that we know well. It's a very good market. So our head coach was an HR director from Johnson & Johnson. So hi to Patricia. And we had a lot of clients from the pharma sector as well. So it's a sector we know well. Osborne, yeah, thank you very much for the feedback. Okay, yeah. So Osborne, yeah, please speak. Then you're saying you want to speak to one of our mentors in the private. Please connect via WhatsApp. Absolutely. Next week you have the link. And anything, if in this case, you can also send an email to ecobeacademy.com for Osborne. That will be available only next week. So Kate, are these keywords something recruiters have hard coded in the system, or they are generated by the ATS? Yeah, so basically when you upload the position on the ATS system, it automatically generates what are the keywords, and these will be the keywords that will be used for filtering Kate. Is there any negative impact if I do not work for 2.5 years? Look, Jiri, I'm very open and flexible as an HR person when I'm judging people with gaps. Okay, we are all exposed to gaps. I had a gap where I had to support someone in my family for some time. We all can have, and even the CEOs or the COOs or the directors that will be judging you, as much as you are honest and as much as you can explain what you did during this time, and mainly this is a detail when you focus on the value we can give for the company. Okay, so focus on the value. Don't let any career gaps undermine your confidence. Okay, Julie, that's what I would suggest. Do all companies check for AI percentage in CV and may reject based on that? Not all companies. This is something very new, okay? So a lot of my HR colleagues, they have no clue yet, but the HS systems are already kind of using that, some of them. I personally have a lot of experience with this, but it's not yet mainstream. Fun facts. Right, so is that correct that Switzerland is reducing the amount of immigration inside, heading the fact defined? So there is a law that will be voted for where Switzerland wants to see if their population wants to put a cap of 10 million people. I really hope that doesn't go forward because it doesn't make any sense from an economical perspective. It's more a populist kind of but there is always this risk of this passing. So the time to find a job in Switzerland is now, I would say. So we have people talking with the team. Very good. We'll tell the team to extend this offer until today at midnight. So for those who have questions with the team or those who started watching a little bit later, you still have the opportunity to enroll with this special condition, okay? The link for enrolling is always there when you see the Ecobee Academy, the yellow highlights. Is the financial job market under stress in Zurich area due to the UBS job cuts? Every time we have some massive layoffs like this, there is a hit on the market because you have less demand for people and you have an increase in the offer. But to be honest, the Swiss market is a very strong market. Normally, the absorption of these people is quite fast. The financial market was doing very well last year. It's still in good shape, not as good as last year, but still in good shape. I mentioned here there was a case where we just placed someone in a very strong bank in Zurich. Well, I can tell you it's a Lombard. So I promised to talk about interview preparation tonight. Yeah, so I hope you saw this part, Anya, Angel. So basically, it's all about the interview preparation I mentioned. So I showed the interview preparation document you need to do before preparing the interview. Really focus on 3 keywords, okay? And in our course, you have a special chapter on how to perform during an interview. So basically, what are the 10 most common questions, or what's good for you to prepare for this, for answering that? Your body language, eye contact, keep your smile, create a connection with the person. Always research the profile of the person you're going to speak to beforehand. So yeah, so if you need more information, feel free to contact us via the WhatsApp chat there, one of our mentors. And in our program, we have a specific chapter on that. You have the prompts to help you prepare the documents. And when you are in the partnership program, the mentors, they do a simulation with you, a mock interview. Yes. So yeah, thanks, Matthias. Yeah, we have planted a lot of trees already. So I personally have planted more than 600 trees. The Amazon campaign we have started last year, so some dozens already there. And we hope to plant one for you, Matthias. Then, yeah, no, thanks, Kisra, Fatima. No, thank you as well. No worries at all. Yeah, please get in touch privately. Um, so Ticino markets, absolutely. Sisi. So no, Ticino market is it's totally a feasible market as well. So it is more specific, but a good market to explore. So you don't need to be in the German-spoken part of Switzerland. Um, oh, thank you, Anna Leoni. Um, yeah, so for the price of upgrade, please contact our mentor there. They will explain to you exactly how it works for the upgrade pink Pinterest. So you have the link there to speak with a mentor because they need to explain to you how it works. Thank you, Zara. Thank you, Judy. Appreciate you find it helpful. And very glad you start with us soon. Nisha, when your team applies on behalf, from which email? So basically, the application's confirmation go to your email. When there is a code that they send to be able to access, you share with the team. You keep the access to your email, and this is done with the full compliance. If you don't have an email for that, one can be created specifically for that. Do companies reject based on percentage of AI usage? To be honest, this is not happening in a systematic way. The question it raises is, did this person actually took the time to customize? Did they research about the company? So these are basically the questions that are raised. And even like, is the CV really respecting the truth of what the person reached? These are the questions that the system can flag, and then a person needs to judge. Fatima, thank you. Look, the system can definitely work in the US, can definitely work in India, Taiwan. So we are more focused on the European market, but the principles apply, the method applies. The mentor, if you're doing the partnership, would focus on that specific market. And depending on the number of clients we have in a new country, we can also hire a mentor specifically for that country, depending on the volume. Dimitris, thank you. Yeah, my pleasure to share this. And Lucy, thank you as well. Yeah, I appreciate Andrea. If no further questions, let's then get to a close. It was really good to exchange with you guys, to be honest. Really hope the ones that can will join the program so we keep working together. The ones that can't, I hope this was useful for you. Hope that you follow Dan on Instagram, on LinkedIn, but also on YouTube. We just started this channel not long ago. Let's keep in touch, and the best of luck, and please never question your confidence and value, because I'm sure you have a lot. Have a great evening, everybody, and hopefully see you soon.